Okay. Hello, Salah. How are you?
Great, how are you?
Good. Thank you for coming on the show. It's nice to have you here. I took a look at your website just before we got on here, and I was kind of hoping you'd be all dolled up, but you're on the conservative side today, yeah?
Uh, I, I I could always bring the jewelry out of my pocket or something.
Well, it was funny because I was looking at the picture, and it's a great picture of you. I thought of two people. Now, tell me if you've been compared before, but Gianni Versace came to mind right away. And then Boy George.
I haven't been compared to Boy George, but I was at a dinner party at one point, a cocktail party with Gianni Versace, and people thought we were brothers. And some of the early pictures, a lot of people thought I looked like Marlon Brando. And
Yeah,
so,
okay, I could see that. I see Brando's name on here. I was going to get to that. That was one of the ones I wanted to hit.
yeah,
But let's give people just a quick sort of backstory of you. I know it says that you immigrated to Canada from Lebanon in the 60s, so you were pretty young, I would guess.
I was 10. Yeah.
10, okay. So you came with your family, presumably?
Yeah. My dad was in Canada for 5 years, but my mom wouldn't come. But he would go back every summer and every Christmas, and then she decided she would come. So five kids and my mom came here. So
It said you got started as a publisher. Tell us a little about that.
I started a video magazine with my brother in the early days of the video industry, and I called Videomania, and then we did another magazine called Premiere. And I published several magazines over the years, including Premiere Magazine and Famous and Cineplex Magazine. And so I was in publishing all of my life, and a few other things I dabbled in. And in the old days of the video industry, there was a lot of forgotten stars that suddenly their video collection had come out, or films that were never going to be in the theaters that people could watch at home. And that was a huge boom to their career and to the film they were in.
So this was in the early 80s when the VCR and
Yeah.
Blockbuster Video, all of that. Yeah, it did resurrect a lot of people's careers at that point, you know?
Yeah, we were even before Blockbuster here. Like we had started there, and not only career, but also like films you had never seen, you could find them. There wasn't streaming per se. If there was some gem that you were looking for, it was on video at some point.
Well,
And
I'm sorry, I see Katharine Hepburn's name on here, and you're reminding me of an interview that she did with Dick Cavett back in, I don't know, early 70s maybe. And she was crediting, television for resurrecting her career because she was always very sort of hesitant to go on TV. And he kind of convinced her to go on his show. And they did sort of a soft run where they didn't have an audience and they just filmed it. But she said that because of late night TV, this whole generation of kids who wouldn't even know who she was, all of a sudden knows who she was because of the old movies.
and they got also new parts because of video and because of all the stations on TV. Like Katharine Hepburn filmed with Laurence Olivier in Ottawa, Love Among the Ruins, and Betty Davis and Jimmy Stewart got to work together in a film called Right of Way, which was for a little video studio called Vestron that could sell the TV rights, and it would be like miniseries or a special highlight of film stars coming, old stars that people knew in new vehicles.
Okay, so what does it mean on here? It says Katharine Hepburn politely turned you down. Turned you down for what?
There's a letter in there specifically about that. I had asked her, we had a barbecue in her backyard, and with Dr. Fairbanks Jr., and I was good friends with Christopher Reeve, and her and Chris were great friends. And I asked her to come up for a gala in Toronto for the Film Center and Children's Charities to pay honor to her, and other people like Jimmy Stewart and uh, Ginger Rogers and Douglas Fairbanks Jr. had done it. And I thought she said yes. So I wrote her a letter, and she wrote back the nicest letter, that give it to somebody who appreciates doing these kinds of things. Like awards don't mean anything to her. But I should have known better, right? This is a woman who's won 4 Oscars, and never showed up personally. She only showed up for a tribute to George Cukor or something like that.
She was real modest about her talents and getting awards and things, right?
She was shy about, not shy, she just didn't want to go to them. She didn't believe in them. She was
Oh,
just other marketing campaigns and really didn't want to go to any of them.
so as a celebrity, she didn't feel like she needed to be celebrated, I guess.
As an artist, she
As an
didn't think she
artist,
should
yeah.
be judged, right? As a person, like, she didn't believe in any of the awards she got.
Well, I can respect that. So
Yeah.
was it through the publishing and the video work that you got into all of these circles with the Hollywood celebrities?
Yeah, I mean, through publishing magazines, interviews, and getting to know them on a different level and treating them not as celebrities, but as ordinary people doing a job and me doing a job, that we connected.
Okay, why would you have reason to connect with them? You were promoting their films at the time or something like that?
I think it's like anything else. You meet somebody at a dinner party and you want to talk to them further, or you hook up, or I was promoting their films or promoting a film or getting them to a gala or to an event to celebrate them and raise money. And we just stayed in touch and developed a relationship. So, things like, if you're ever in Carmel, come and visit me. And so you do visit them. And it was before email or any of those things. So you had to call and make arrangements or write a letter and all that setup.
So everything was done in person, basically.
Yeah.
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 Do you think
And
that's
not everybody had like 10 publicists and 3 handlers and different things like that.
do you think that was a better approach than the way it's done now, where everything is done like video FaceTime?
There was more of, I think now there's a huge demand on their celebrity because it's more worldwide. And I don't know, it was just a different, more personal time. And I think, yeah, if you wanted to meet somebody, you went on a junket or you went and interviewed them. Probably more difficult for the journalists to have to go to Los Angeles to interview James Stewart if you could do it on the phone.
So anyways, you're doing a book tour right now, right? A media tour for your book. And the book is called First to Leave the Party. Interesting title. What does that mean?
Well, I mean, it matured enough where you become that you don't want to stay till the end of the party. You don't want to stay where the party degenerates and there's all kinds of stuff. I want to leave the party. I'm not the person who wants to be drinking and obnoxious. And I've learned to leave the party at a time where everybody still wants more, when I still want more, when I can connect with somebody the next day or another day and get a real conversation instead of turning into a drinking fest.
So is this the opposite of arriving fashionably late? You leave fashionably early?
No, not related at all.
Okay.
It's the opposite of staying all night and getting drunk in a corner and insulting people or not being yourself. And
Is this a memoir? I mean, is this your story, or is it just sort of anecdotes and snippets and stories of people you met, or combination of both?
it's a memoir told through my interactions with other people. It's unique in the sense that you could read one chapter at a time, get a little bit about the actor or the celebrity, and get quite a bit about me by the end of it. So you can read it in any order, and it's told uniquely that way. Each chapter stands on its own.
Why did you decide to do this? Was there something that compelled you to put this all together?
I had done a little bit of it on social media when I had a kidney transplant and then I got sepsis. So I was sick and in rehab for about 5 months. And so I was posting on social media and there was a huge response to some of the posts and everybody wanted me to turn it into a book. And I decided during COVID and everything to turn it into a book as a way of telling somebody story and how they gave back, and like somebody's Elizabeth Taylor with her AIDS foundation, or Paul Newman and Joanne Woodward with their foundations, and a little tidbit about what they did with their celebrity and my interaction and health struggles and trying to fit in as a queer person, as an Arab, all that into the whole mixture. So it's very memoirish.
Well, I also see AIDS activist on here. Have you crossed paths with Elton John and David?
No, I have crossed paths with them, yeah, of course, and I've attended several of their fundraisers. David Furnish is from Canada. He was the Grand Marshal of the Pride Parade.
We've got just a couple minutes, and I did want to hit two names on here. I did say Marlon Brando. Tell us about the barbecue with Marlon Brando.
So Marlon Brando was filming in an area of North Toronto where I had gone to work. I worked a lot as a teenager, and my parents were still working there. He was filming with Matthew Broderick, The Freshman.
Oh yeah,
And
good movie.
The movie. So Broderick was hot off of Ferris Bueller's Day Off. So they actually sent me to interview Broderick, and Brando was sitting there, and I got to know him, and he asked me where can I get good Lebanese food, and of course I said my mother's, and the house was like 5 minutes from where he was filming. So we ended up for barbecue in the backyard with my parents, and I hung out when he was in Toronto and stayed friends long after.
Oh, nice. Well, and the other one that's sort of related to that, it said your mother made dinner for Ella Fitzgerald.
Ella Fitzgerald had performed in Lebanon, and she liked the Lebanese dish called kibbe. And she asked where I could get good kibbe. Again, I said my mom's. And so and there used to be a place in Toronto called the Imperial Room where everybody played regularly at old concert hall. So Ella played, and Marlena Dietrich and Sarah Vaughan, and Tina Turner even played there. And so she would be like for 3-4 weeks a year, sometimes there, or 2 weeks at a time. So I would bring her Lebanese food every night, and she would eat after the performance. Most artists, I guess, don't eat before they get on stage.
You said that this was in Lebanon or in Toronto?
And Imperial Room was in Toronto. She had played earlier at a venue in Lebanon.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we do have to wind this down, unfortunately. I know we couldn't cover one smitten of what this is in this book in 15 minutes, but I think we did give a little bit of a trailer, a teaser, if you will. The book is called First to Leave the Party. Is today the release date?
Yeah, it's available on Amazon everywhere. So it's called First to Leave the Party, but the tagline is my life with ordinary people, ... who happen to be famous.
Last question. Do you have a website that you want to give out?
SALAH, Salah Bachir .com.
Okay. And there's information about you and the book and everything on there? Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Well, thanks so much for coming on the show. It was great meeting you, and best of luck with the book launch. Hope it does well. Are you on a media tour today? You're doing a lot of these?
I am today.
Okay, well, good luck. Hopefully you get through them all.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me on.